O kaya naman, i-edit natin ito. So, I'll press F2 and then yung G7 6.75 i-click ko lang dyan. Tapos, I will press F4 para maging $, yan. So, copy, paste, paste, paste. Ibig sabihin, yung may $sign, naka-fix lang siya doon. Okay? Otherwise, kung walang $sign yan, okay, kung walang $sign yan at kinapi mo, iba ang pinupuntahan. Bumababa din siya. Okay, so I will just press the $sign again. Yan. Then, paste ko rin dito. But, instead na XCR, dadaling ko dito sa Y center of rigidity. So, I can now copy this, paste, paste. Yan siya. And then, this is K times D square. So, simple lang yan. K times D squared. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Tapos, kunin mo lang yung summation niyan. Then, ganun din dito sa baba. Tapos, dito na tayo sa direct force. Ito yung ratio na kukunin nung frame 1. Okay? So, let's say, meron tayong insert saan si arrow? Ayun. Sa transverse direction, yan, ang magre-resist niyang transverse force would be frames 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And 100% niyan, nung forces na yan, i-resist nitong 4 frames. Pero it is divided into 4 frames. So, kunin mo lang yan. Ratio niyan would be K divided by summation K. Then, gawin nating fixed yung F11. So, F4. Then, copy, paste, paste, paste. It so happened na pare-parehas sila ng dimension. Lahat sila pare-parehas din ng sizes. Kaya, equally distributed 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Otherwise, kung nagpalit ka dito ng, let's say, 0.3, tapos ito 0.3, then 0.3, and then 0.3. Obviously na yung first grid number 1, malaki ang kanyang sizes, no? Malaki ang kanyang area, mas malaki rin ang forces na tatanggapin niya. So, 0.409. Then, 234.197 each. Okay, so may effect ang moment of inertia, may effect din ang area. Okay, so yan ang distribution ng direct force. So let's put this back to 0.25 and 0.25. Next, ganun din dito sa longitudinal frame. So that is K divided by summation K. So that is direct force. Ano? Hindi pa yan yung torsional force. Tapos, before doing that, punta tayo dito sa J. J is simply the sum of all the KD squared. So, yan. This plus this. And then next, dito tayo sa XCR minus XCG or the eccentricity 1 and EY1. Assuming na itong green ay itong blue na centroid, yan yung center of mass. Tapos, ito naman yung center of rigidity. Let's say, palitan ngayon natin itong sizes ng columns dito sa grid 1. Okay, gawin natin siyang 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, 0.5 by 0.5. 0.5 by 0.5. Ibig sabihin, malaki ang forces na tatanggapin nito. And then, yung center of rigidity mo, dapat lumalapit din siya somewhere here. Okay? So, tingnan natin ngayon, yung XCR na naging 1.42 na lang. Ibig sabihin, from this origin, nagpapaganito na siya. Okay? So, ngayon, gawin nating yung malaking columns naman dito sa grid 4. Dapat lalayo siya, no? Okay, so try natin. Ibabalik ko to ng 0.25. Okay, so ito ang gagawin kong 0.5. 0.5. Yan. See? Yung XCR niya naging 12.08. So, tama. Lumayo siya. Ganon din ang effect pag ang pakakapalin mong mga columns dito sa bandang taas. Let's say this is 0.5. 0.5. Yan. See? Yung YCR mo tumaas. So, something ganyan. And then, yung eccentricity, yung difference nitong dalawa. So, that is XCR minus X center of gravity. Okay, meron ding YCR minus Y center of gravity. Yung difference nung dalawa. Okay, so, this is equal to XCR, ito 8.74 minus XCG, ayan, tapos equal to YCR minus YCG, yan siya. And then 5% of LX, ito yung ating longest dimension. So, ito na ngayon yung accidental eccentricity, no? Ibig sabihin, kung nagkataon na symmetrical, magkatapat ngayon yung center of mass tsaka center of rigidity. Yung 5%, nagdagdag ka ng distance, ano? Na tigpa 5% nung longitudinal and transverse dimension. Okay, so let's get the 5% of this one. Point times 0.05. Tapos ito naman, yung Ly times 0.05. And then, ibalik ko na ito sa aking original dimensions na tigto 0.25. Next is, dito na tayo ngayon sa eccentricity total. By the way, 5% of Lx is your Ex2 or second eccentricity. 5% of Ly is your Ey2, no? Second eccentricity. Yung first eccentricity mo, yung difference ng center of rigidity and center of mass. Okay. So, i-total natin yan for Ex total. That is Ex1 plus Ex2. And Ye total or Ey total, Ey1 plus Ey2. Okay, baliktad to. Now, since na-consider na-compute na natin yung mga eccentricities, take note na pag yung eccentricity mo, something like that, ibig sabihin, etong lateral force mo, ganyan. Diyan mag-a-act. Tapos, yung direct force dito mag-a-act. Okay? So, direct force dyan. And then, yung structure mo, mag-displace lang siya ng ganyan. Pero, pag meron kang eccentricity, dito mag-a-act ngayon yung accidental load mo. Okay? Ang tendency niyan, yung structure mo, mag-twist, iikot, yan, parang moment. So, meron kang tinatawag na torsional force, F double prime. Okay? So, yan ang kukomputin natin next. So, torsional force is equal to K times total eccentricity along X times distance D divided by J. Okay? Wherein J is the sum of KD squared. Okay? So, let's do that formula. Oops. So, F double prime is K, ito siya, times EXT, ito, times D, divided by J. Yan. Pero, if i-fix natin ngayon si EXT, tsaka si J. Okay? So, to do that, I'll press F2. Punta ako dito sa kay EXT and then F4. Tapos si J, i-fix ko rin siya. F4 yan. Now, I can copy this. And then, take note na yung total force naman, okay, so palitan natin to ng red. Fill. Yan. Tapos, meron ding blue. Oops. Yan. So, let's say that the blue, that is the direct force. Ano? Yung red, yan yung torsional force. Okay? And then, hindi yan magiging times 2. Dapat, yung total nitong dalawa, that would be equal to your 109.07. Okay? Hindi yan magiging 109 tsaka another 109. Mali yun. Kaya nga, ang total force mo would be F prime plus F double prime. And as I check, dapat ang sum nito, yung direct force, would be 1. Ganon din dito sa torsional force, dapat 0 naman yan. Take note na ang torsional force mo, may twisting yan, ano? Okay? So, meron dyan, meron din dito sa kabila. Pero, opposite in direction, kaya negative ito. So, something like that. Kaya ang sum nito ay 0. And then, pag-addin mo ngayon yung dalawang yan. Tapos, ang f sub h mo ngayon, before doing that, puntat muna tayo dito sa longitudinal frame. Okay? So, the same equation, f double prime is equal to k, this time, EY total naman ang gagamitin natin. Yan. So, K, ito, times EY times D divided by J. Yan. Then, i-fix natin si EY total tsaka si J. And then, copy na natin siya. Then, let's check the total again. This should be 1, and then this should be 0. Yan. So, pag 1 tsaka 0 yan, ibig sabihin, okay na. Pwede na nating pag-add si f is equal to f prime tsaka f double prime. Next is papasok na tayo ngayon, ipapasok na natin ngayon si horizontal force. Itong si 109.07. I-distribute na natin ito ngayon dun sa frames. Yan. So, click ko dyan. This is equal to 109.07. Yan si f sub x. Yan. Tapos, itong f sub h, that is simply 0.27 times 109.07. Ito naman, 0.6 times 109.07. Ngayon, para mapadali, ililink ko na lang yan. Equal to, then dito sa distribution, wag dyan, dito na lang. Yan. Okay, para mas exact, mas malapit sa katotohanan. Tapos, ito naman, equal to, equal sign, then f times fx. Tapos, yan, gagawin kong fixed. Click ko sa F4. Then, copy, paste, paste, paste. As a check, ibig sabihin nito, yung 109.07, this is for the transverse frame. Ito yan. So, yung direct force na blue plus torsional force na red, that is equal to your 109.07. Kaya let's check. So, dapat sum, click mo yan. Yan, see? 109.07. Next, dito tayo ngayon sa longitudinal frame, or the seismic is acting longitudinally. So, something like this naman. Yan. So, direct force. Tapos, ayan. Torsional force. So, ganun din. Meron ka rin ditong 109. This direct force plus torsional force is also 109.07. Yan. So, simply ganyan lang siya. Click mo lang dyan. And then, same thing, this is equal to the percentage of the total force multiplied by Fx. Tapos, i-fix ko lang yan. F4. Paste mo dyan. And then, as a check, dapat, ang sum nito would be equal to your Fx. Likewise, this should be equal to this longitudinal force should also be the same with the transverse force. Yan. So, true. Okay, next is dito na tayo ngayon sa center of mass. This is simply the same as XCG 6.839, center of rigidity XCR. Yan. Okay, ito naman kay STAAD, Z kay STAAD eh. Ayan o, STAAD nakalagay doon. This is equal to yung Z coordinate naman 9.5, ano? So that is 9.5 minus 5.066. Ibig sabihin yan, si STAAD kasi nasa baba yung yung figure. Okay? In short, yung origin from dito, nilipat lang natin sa taas. Kaya 9.5 minus ito. And then Z coordinate, ganun din, 9.5 minus the YCR. Oops, something's wrong. Check ko lang itong mass center of mass. Dito yata ako nagkamali. This is weights Y63. Dapat nasa roof level ito. Okay, roof level. Weights Y63. Weights Y63. Nasaan si 63? Ito. And 6.8391. Ayan, 6.8391. Pareho. Pero, anong level siya? Ayun, third floor level. Dapat, dito tayo sa roof level. Ayan. So, dapat Y23. Yun. So, this should be equal to weights and then at roof level, ito. Yan. Tapos, ito naman, copy ko lang yan. Y23, Y24. Yan. So, okay na ang aking distribution ng direct force tsaka torsional force. Okay guys, so ito ay para dito sa roof level. Ngayon, same procedure din sa third floor level. Okay, so pakita ko lang kung ano yung ginawa ko sa third floor level. This time, same procedure. So first, dito sa dimensions, ang kukunin mong dimensions ngayon naman would be dimensions ng column mo. Take note na dito tayo. Okay? ang column na magbubuhat itong second floor column. Wala nang kinalaman yung third floor column, ano? So, ang rigidity mo ngayon dyan, yung R8. And R8 is 40 by 40. So, happen lahat 40 by 40. Tapos, ang weight mo naman ngayon would be on this level. In short, ang F sub X na kukunin mo would be yung 280.75. Okay. So, yan. So, let's go back here. So, 0.4. Lahat yan, 0.4. So, kung ano yung ginawa ko dito sa roof level, ganon din ang ginawa ko dito sa third floor level. Okay, so ang pinagkaiba lang yung column dimensions. Okay, tapos yung F sub X, 280 na siya. And then, the same procedure. Tapos, kunin mo rin yung center of mass, 6.839. This is at the third floor. Okay, at third level, 6.839 tsaka 5.06. Okay, 6.839 and 5.06. And then, if you will check again, dapat ang total nito is 280. Okay, so same thing with second floor hanggang sa first floor. Okay guys, so yan ang horizontal distribution ng base shear sa frames. Next, isa-summarize natin ngayon, ano? Dito tayo. So, sa transverse direction muna. Summary of horizontally distributed base shears. So, balik tayo dito sa roof level. Okay. Split ko lang, view, split. Yan. So, i-block ko lang muna ito. Yan. So, at roof level, dito tayo sa roof level, transverse direction. So, ito ang kukunin natin, ano? Roof level, transverse direction or transverse frame. Kukunin natin si yan. Yan ang kailangan natin. So, sa frame number 1, 30.264. Ito. Sa frame number 2, you have 28.267. And frame number 3, you have 26.269. Finally, frame number 4, you have 24.273. And then, if you will add them, dapat 109.07. Okay, next, punta tayo ngayon sa third floor level. Ayan. Sa frame number 1, okay, third floor na tayo. Frame number 1, that is 76.88, ito. Then 72, 67, then 63. So you do the same thing with the second floor and then the first floor. Dito naman tayo ngayon sa longitudinal direction. Okay, sa roof level muna. Ito, So, this is a truth level, okay? Tapos, sa longitudinal frame, kukunin natin yan. So, for frame A, you have 36, tapos 36.22 for frame B, then 35.99 for frame C. Same thing with third floor level. You have 100, 91 and 88. You do the same thing with second floor and first floor level. Yeah. Next. So remember na ang ating frames, you have transverse frame, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, and then longitudinal frames, grid A, grid B, grid C. So, dito tayo sa frame 1. Okay? Or, let's say, kunin natin yung frame A. Ito. Yan. So, ito siya, no? Ang kukunin nating forces ngayon would be frame A longitudinal. Yan. So, ang force mo dito is obviously pag ganito. Yan. So, longitudinal direction tayo sa frame A, which is ito ang kukunin natin. Yan. Okay? So, ito, ayun gagawin natin. So, 36.854, ayan, and then, this is at roof level, ano? Then, at third floor, you have 100.922, at second floor, 56, and then first floor, 11.811. Okay, next is at frame 1. This time, ang seismic force natin, something like this. So, ito yung 7 meters. Ayan yung 7 meters. Okay? So, ang highlightan naman natin ngayon would be at frame 1. Ito. Yan. Color this as green. So, we have 30.264 at roof level. And then, 76.88 at third floor. Ayan. So forth and so on. And, remember na ang earthquake, hindi lang positive direction, dapat may negative direction din siya, ganyan. So itong 30.264 at saka 76, dito naman yan papalo sa kabila, ganun. Okay, so aside from that, in reality, aside from this direction longitudinal, meron ka pa ring orthogonal effects na tinatawag, which is 30% naman nung other direction. Yan. Ganyan. So, ibig sabihin, yung earthquake mo may orthogonal effects. 30% nung other direction. So, how many combinations lahat? So, may ganyan. Tapos ganito yung orthogonal mo. And then, consider mo rin yung orthogonal na ganyan. Diba? So, you have 2 combinations na. Time is 4. So, magiging 8 combinations lahat. Yan. Okay, guys. And then, ang next topic natin naman para sa earthquake, nakagawa na tayo ngayon ng lateral forces, meron na tayong frame. Dito na papasok yung approximate methods, yung portal method, factor method, cantilever method. So, yung mga approximate methods na yun, kukunin mo yung mga responses ng columns and beams, yung mga moments, tapos yung shears acting on these beams. Okay? Ang limitation nga lang ni approximate methods is simply hindi siya exact. Hindi yan ang tinatanggap dito sa building permit. Ang tinatanggap dyan yung exact, which happens to be stiffness matrix method. Also, ang limitation ng approximate method, hindi ka pwedeng gumamit ng pin. I think sila lahat ay fixed support. Pero in reality, pwede kang gumamit ng pin sa stiffness matrix. So, sa earthquake, ang next topic natin would be approximate methods, portal, cantilever, and then factor, and then lastly, yung stiffness matrix method. Yung stiffness, yan ang i-compare natin dito sa output ni STAAD. Okay? So obviously, yung approximates, hindi mo yan mapagpapareho kay STAAD. Okay guys? Thank you for listening. So you do this on your own projects. Bye-bye!